Alright, we're good to go.
Number 1.
So for 1A, I put tetracycline,
Yeah, me too.
and for B, I put when the colonies are resistant, they don't contain the DNA. Like when they're resistant to both ampicillin and tetracycline, they don't contain the DNA.
Okay.
And C, I put 2, and D, I put 3.
For C, I thought it was like 3 just because I couldn't really find out how we would figure out that it's 2. How did you figure out it was 2?
I thought it was 3 too, but then I checked the answer key and it said it was 2.
So how did you figure out it was 2?
So I think the idea behind it is if you take a circle and you make 2 cuts, you would end up with 2 pieces. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
So that's why it's 2, because with the 2 different things you use to cut it, it makes the 2 cuts. And so you're left with just 2 pieces. Or 2 bands in the gel, because they'll separate out.
Okay, then how did you get 3 for the second part?
So BAM and Eco. I don't know. I might have used false thinking in the second one because I put, like you guys, I put 3 on both of them and then checked. And then my conclusion on how they got 2 for C was that, but now looking back on it, I don't know how they got 3 for D.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been confused. This is one of the lessons that has me most confused in a long time. Because you would think it would be the same, because it would be only 2 cuts again.
Cause originally I thought it was 4 for that one, just because I used the analogy of it going clockwise and the counterclockwise, and I put if it, cause I don't know. I just used the analogy with the clockwise. But
I think what it is with, it was part of what she said in the video. So when the BAM HI or whatever gets cut in half in part C, it still has 2 parts of it. So with D, you're cutting what you already did in C. So it would have 2 BAM HIs and 1 PSTL. So you'd be making 3 cuts. Does that make sense?
yeah.
I think that is, remembering what she said in the video, I think that's why it's 3.
Okay. Alrighty.
So for 2A, I said if you only use 1 primer, it will only duplicate 1 strand and not the other.
Right.
And for B, I put 32,768. For C, I put that the thermostable DNA polymerase is used, which is able to remain natured at higher temperatures.
Question for you for B. The reason why you got how did you get 32,760? Is it because like 1 primer equals 1 DNA strand or something?
Because where it
Huh?
You're supposed to square it.
Yeah,
What?
it doubles. It doubles every time. So that's what you. So you start with 1. After 1 cycle, it would be 2. After 3 cycles, it would be 8. Wait, did I say that right? 4.
Yeah.
And then 8, 16.
Wait.
So it just doubles every cycle.
Okay. Until we get to 15, right?
Right.
Okay.
Or you can say 2 to the 15th, I think is another way to do it. I think you end up with the same answer. Sweet. Then for D, I said the DNTP lacks, and I wasn't positive on this, but it's the 2' or the 2 position OH group on the pentose sugar. Is that what you guys got?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure on the position. That was my question mark. I knew it lacked one of them, but I couldn't find in the reading where it said like specifically.
Well, I just mostly talked about the difference in like the hydroxyl and hydrogen.
Right. So
I,
in the single D, it lacks the hydroxyl or the alcohol group.
yeah.
And then in the second one, the double D, it's both the 2 and the 3. It's lacking that hydroxyl group, and is replaced by a hydrogen group.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
Number 3?
Mhm.
Yeah. Number 3. For the ALO, I put I multiplied 0.3 times 0.3 times 0.2 times 0.2, and I got 0.036 or 3.6 times 10 to the negative 4. That's what you guys got?
And then you have to take 1 divided by that
And then
to get your answer. Okay.
yeah. And then I took 1 divided by the 3, and then I got 272. I mean 278. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, how did you go from that? At all the same numbers, but different at the end, so I was confused. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. For letter B, I mean not letter B, but the H flow, I
Mhm.
got 625 BP.
Mhm.
For the next one, I have 3086 BP. For the fourth one, I have 6944 BP. For the last one, I got 390625.
Mhm.
So, and for number 4, I so what I did was I dropped the different things that they told us to draw on the instruction, the DDGCP, DDATP, DDTTP, and then DDCTP. Once I got that, I just placed them in the correct order using the primer annual site. So the first one was G, so I put that under 1. And since the second was C, I put that under the G again, so forth and so on.
So I have a question about this. I was really confused by this. I think I might have just had an insight, but so for the DDGDP, it
Mhm.
cuts it at every G,
Right.
and then for the other one, if ATP cuts it every A.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
C, so forth, and then note to C, so forth and so on. And then the way that you would figure out uh, what goes where within the box is by looking at Because you see where it said the 5 prime, 3 prime, the annual site?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Won't you, like, change that into the correct form, which would be, like, if it was C, it would be G. If it was G, it would be C, A, T, so forth and so on. That's how you would figure it out. If you need more help, I can.
Okay. And so does it cut it right after or right before that letter that it's assigned to?
It cut it at the letter.
Right. So if, like, for instance, the GDP, so if you just look at the strand that's on there, it says CG or CCG, would that be the first segment, or would the first segment be just CC?
No, the first segment was just be C. Well, not C, because you would have to change that to G.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know how you synthesize it? If it was like C, you would put G. So
Right.
since E, you would go into the different chart. Hold on.
No, I see what you're saying, because you have to synthesize one and then use that synthesized strand for this.
Can you see my paper?
Hold on. Let me pull up. I just have it. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it's like you had to make the 4 column in order for you to
Right.
get that.
Yeah. I think I got it now. I was really confused on that, but I think I understand that. Okay.
Actually, did you get that part?
Yeah, I did.
For 5, I think I understand B and C. It's kind of the same idea, kind of what we talked about, and she talked about in the video. But A, I'm still really confused about what to do. Or I guess. I don't know. So for, like, the first part where it's the BAM HI or whatever, is that saying you're going to get 3 different pieces with that many base pairs?
You got email.
No. I'm not really good at that. I didn't even do that one.
The DNA fragments contain restriction enzymes. That's the only thing I can figure out.
Well, also the answer key.
The answer key doesn't have anything. It just says, like, have your drawing.
Wow.
Yeah, I was hoping the answer key would help too, but like, she has the video that went over it, but I was still not sure what we were supposed to have. Because that's, like, basically the idea between B and C, except you're not putting it on a, compared to a ladder.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So that's what I would guess. I haven't drawn that out, but
Okay.
and then on B, you basically just have to make like lines and separate them based upon how many base pairs they have and list that, I think. And then C, just doing it but with a circle. Circular DNA. Does that sound plausible?
It seems like a, yeah, that could be. What'd you get for B and C?
Yeah, so for B, it's just like basically you just draw a line, and then like for the first part where it has 2,500 base pairs and 5,000 base pairs, you would just draw a line like 2/3 of the way through the line and write on the short side 2,500 base pairs and on the long side 500 or 5,000 base pairs.
Okay.
And then you just do that for all of them. And the same, I think, with C, except with circular DNA. I think. Like her video, if you haven't watched it, goes through B and basically just shows the line. And so I'm pretty confident on that. And C has basically the same directions except with circular DNA. So I guess it's a circular plasmid, but it would be the same idea.
Alright. I think we're done.
All right. Well, thank you both. Maybe we'll run into each other on campus one of these days.
Maybe.
Or maybe we'll have a class together next semester.
Maybe.
Alright, you guys.
All right. Enjoy general conference.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.